Good evening or good morning, depending on which part of the world you are, and welcome to this webinar from Deusto Business School. I'm here in San Sebastian, so welcome to San Sebastian. Apologies for being a couple of minutes late. We had some slight technical difficulties in getting the feed right, but we solved them quickly. So hopefully everybody is still here. As I said, welcome to this webinar, which is to talk about the Deusto Business School Masters for Competitiveness and Innovation. My name's James Wilson. I'm the director of the Masters of Competitiveness and Innovation at Deusto Business School. This is going to be a relatively brief webinar. The aim is to talk you through various questions that you may have about the Masters. And then at the end of that, which will take maybe 10-15 minutes, for you to ask any questions that you might have about the Masters using the chat or comment form at the bottom of the video on your screens. Those questions will then be passed on to me, and I will do my best to answer them as I can at the end of the presentation. So please write your questions as you think of them during the presentation. There's no need to wait until the end, and then I'll try and respond to them as best as I can. I'm now going to share my screen with you so that you can see the presentation, which we will talk through. Let me just see if I can get this to work. There we go. So you should be seeing now a welcome page for the Master's Degree in Competitive Innovation. This is an official Master's degree, an official Master's program, which means that it is officially recognized by the Spanish Ministry. It corresponds to all of the required level of credits and level of rigor that a Master's degree needs to be recognized by the Spanish Ministry. It's a full-time year-long Master's program, so it's designed for a full-time study rather than part-time study, although it's possible to take part of the course in 1 year and part of the course in another year. The Master's program is designed and given by Deusto Business School, based at our campus in San Sebastian, and we work in close collaboration with Orchestra, which is the Basque Institute of Competitiveness, a research institute based at Deusto Business School, and which does research on territorial competitiveness. So that's a very brief overview to the Master's degree, and as I said, I want to talk you through a series of questions around this Master's program. First of all, why competitiveness and innovation? Why do we launch a Master's in Competitiveness and Innovation? Well, competitiveness innovation, I'm sure you're all well aware, are if you like buzzwords of our time. They're kind of words that we hear consistently, but whether it be in business or in public policy or in general public life. And they're buzzwords of our time for very good reason. We live in a world that is extremely fast changing, that's characterized by a complex socioeconomic environment, perhaps ever more complex, in fact, and that demands that businesses, institutions, and in fact territories are competitive. It demands that they are doing the right things in order to, first of all, survive and then to thrive in that environment which is constantly changing and constantly throwing up new challenges. Being competitive in that context in today's world fundamentally requires innovation. If we stand still and we do the same as we've always done, then our business or our institution or our territory will struggle to cope with the changes that this ever fast changing world is throwing up to us. So understanding what drives innovation and what drives competitiveness is really critical for all of the institutions, businesses and territories which make up our world today. And there's a strong need for people with a solid understanding of what drives competitiveness and what drives innovation. This Master's is quite unique because it blends expertise from business management and territorial development perspectives. Deusto Business School has a long experience in developing business managers and in developing programs for management programs, and strong expertise in the management side of things. Orchestra, the Basque Institute of Competitiveness, has a strong research focus on territorial development, territorial competitiveness. And it's the blend of these two things together that makes this Master's quite a unique program, because for businesses to thrive and for businesses to be competitive in today's world, they need to be embedded in territories that provide the right conditions for them to be competitive. And for territories to thrive and for territories to provide the kind of well-being and welfare that their citizens demand, they need to cooperate with businesses, and they need to embed businesses within the territory. So it's the link between business competitiveness and territorial competitiveness, a link that's bound together by innovation, that's really critical to success in today's world. And this Masters, I think, is quite unique in that it blends together those two perspectives in developing a series of competences about really understanding what drives competitiveness and what drives innovation. So what will who's this Masters for then? The second question we want to look at. Recognising the different needs of participants, the Masters has two different tracks. So depending on what you want to get from the Masters, you can take a professional itinerary, which is designed for those who are interested in developing management level careers in businesses, consultancies, governments, technology and research centres, universities, or civil society, third sector organisations. Or if you're interested in developing a research career, then you can take the research itinerary, which is designed for those who wish to pursue business management and social science research in the fields of competitiveness innovation, for example, through the subsequent development of a PhD thesis. And in fact, we have a PhD program at Deusto Business School which directly follows on from this master's program. So there's a strong link in the research itinerary in terms of preparing students to be able to then take a doctoral thesis or to move into to research field, for example, working for a technology centre or research institute. So depending on what you want to get out of the masters, you can elect one of those different itineraries, and you'll learn starting from a common base, you will learn different things depending on which itinerary you select. So what will I learn on the Masters? Well, if you select the professional itinerary, then you'll learn to understand and manage strategic innovation processes to enhance the competitiveness of organisations and the competitiveness of territories. If you take the research itinerary, you'll learn the core theoretical concepts and methodological skills that you need to undertake research in these fields and or to prepare a PhD thesis. So if we look at the subject breakdown on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see that the course itself, the master's program, is split into 2 semesters. The first semester is a common semester across both itineraries, so all the students in both tracks study together in the first semester, and you take 4 core modules during that first semester. The first of those is a theoretical module which teaches us about the theories underlying competitiveness and innovation, what the concepts mean, what types of theories can help us to understand what drives competitiveness and what drives innovation. That both from a business and from a territorial perspective. We then have 2 complementary modules, one of which focuses on the territorial side, territorial competitiveness innovation systems, trying to understand what it is that makes a territory successful, what it is that makes a territory able to provide the right conditions for its businesses, and how businesses can relate to those conditions within the territory. And the third module is business competitiveness innovation management, which takes a strong management focus to try and understand within the firm what are the skills and what are the management techniques that are needed to drive forward innovation and drive forward competitiveness within the firm. So those are the kind of 3 core modules in the first semester, which are complemented by a 4th core module that runs across all of Deusto Business School's master's programs, which is to embed knowledge around responsible sustainability and innovation in an interconnected world. So there we study the key issues of corporate social responsibility, of how business plays an important role in developing sustainable societies, and how innovation is central both to business development and to social development. So that's the first semester. In the second semester, the 2 itineraries split. So if you are interested in that professional career, in a management level career, for example, then the professional itinerary goes into depth in 2 key issues related to management for competitiveness innovation, change and innovation management, and value creation. So we have 2 modules that go deeply into those 2 core areas. And then in the second part of that second semester, you'll undertake an internship where you'll develop a practical project within a business, consultancy, or a wide range of different types of businesses. Our students have developed internships, and within that business, you'll undertake a project which is related to your interests coming out of the studies, and which will also be reflected in your master's final project, which, as you can see at the bottom, is the kind of capping of the master's and the very end project that you will do. If you take the research itinerary, on the other hand, then instead of those those modules on change, innovation, management and value creation, and instead of the internship, you take 2 core modules, one of which is designed to go deeper into those theories and scientific bases on competitiveness and innovation research, which you started to look at in the first semester, to really delve deeply into a kind of more academic understanding of what those theories mean and how they relate to our understanding of the social sciences, etc. And secondly, you will undertake a module which is designed to develop research methods and skills for academic research communication. So methodologies for research and how to go about actually communicating research and writing research proposals, etc. And again, your master's final project will be in this case, strongly related to your interests with respect to those theories, and often, in most cases, it's related to the development of a proposal for later doctoral study. Okay, so those are the 2 streams that can be taken. Typically, the majority of students take the professional itinerary, and we have a smaller number of students that take the research itinerary. I think reflecting in a way the broad numbers of students that go into professional or to research careers. How will I learn? Well, this master's, as with any masters, is built around a core group of faculty from Deusto Business School and Orchestra in this case, and you will learn from them, of course. That's one of the routes of learning. We have a core faculty team at Deusto Business School with decades of teaching and research experience in competitiveness, innovation, strategic management, and we complement that with the experience that Orchestra faculty have in research on the territorial aspects of competitiveness, and then we complement both of those with inputs from collaborating practitioners, so that you're not just learning from theoretical standpoints and people who work in the university, you're also learning from people who are working on the ground and dealing with innovation management and competitiveness management issues in their day-to-day working lives. A second key source of learning, of course, is from each other. The Masters in Competitiveness Innovation is a truly international Masters. On this year's programme, we have students from 13 different countries. So we have an international classroom with students and faculty from around the world, and that creates an environment which is very, very conducive to learning from each other, as well as learning from the faculty. And in fact, as faculty, we learn an awful lot from the students during the course of the Masters programme, because everybody from different countries and different experiences brings their own take on the world and their own practical experience and understanding from their previous working life or from their studies, or simply from living in different parts of the world. So there's a lot of learning that takes place within the classroom from each other. And to try and maximise that learning, both from faculty and from each other, we carefully blend a mix of learning methodologies within the programme. So we combine lectures and classes in a more typical sense with case study methods, where we look in detail at certain specific case studies, with lots of debate and discussion to open up the learning from each other. We use individual and group projects to deepen into different aspects. We also, in some of the modules, use problem-based learning and learning by doing, in which we set tasks and specific kind of challenges, which groups work on, business challenges, kind of simulate real-life experiences. So there is a mix of learning methodologies which we found to be very effective in terms of maximising the kind of opportunities that each of you have who are taking the Masters to really benefit from your experience at Deusto Business School. Where will I learn? Well, lots of photos on this slide, and you'll see there that we live in San Sebastian in quite a beautiful city, which is by no means the most important selling point of the Masters programme, but it is a selling point of the Masters programme. It's a beautiful city to live in. We have a very well-equipped campus right in the heart of the city, with all of the things you would expect from a modern university: a good library, very strong ICT facilities, databases, etc. All the things you need to source your learning, breakout rooms in the classrooms, etc. And you can see one of the buildings in the top left-hand corner is the building that we're in at the moment, which is the Deusto Business School's new classroom building. And you can see in other pictures we're situated by the river, and not too far from the heart of the city and from the beach. So San Sebastian is a lovely place to study, and our campus is a really pleasant environment with a truly international environment where you will find lots of new and vibrant experiences. How do I apply for the Masters? The application for the Masters is relatively straightforward. The application form is only 1-2 pages long, so you need to fill in a simple application form and send that along with supporting documentation to the university. We'll then assess your applications, and we assess them based on these following criteria. We look at your degree and academic record, and there what we're looking for is evidence of a degree in business administration or a related subject area that has a significant amount of business administration within it. So if you've studied economics or engineering, etc., or various other studies, but you have done within that degree a significant number of business administration subjects, then we can consider that as a requisite. But you need to have a certain level of understanding of business administration subjects to gain entry into the Masters. We also look at your level of English, which needs to be to level C1 or advanced level. And we look at your CV and a letter of motivation to understand a little bit about your experience and why you want to undertake the program. So we try to put together each year a cohort of students with different experiences and from different places to try and really build an interesting learning environment. The application form can be downloaded from the website you see there, muci.deusto.es, along with full details of how to apply. I should also mention at this point that it's for the course beginning in 2015, in September 2015. It's important, if you're thinking of applying, to apply quickly, because we only have a relatively small number of places on the Masters program. We keep the cohort down to 20-25 students, and so those places do fill up. So if you're interested in applying, then please don't think about it for too long. If you're interested in entering into the program this September. Who can I talk to further? You can contact myself at any time. You'll find my email and Twitter contact details there. You can also talk to the program secretary, Amaya Aspiatu, who will be happy to help you with kind of any more queries you have, more about the logistical aspects of the program, or about coming to San Sebastian and those types of things. If you want to talk more about the program itself and the academic aspects, then please feel free to contact me. At this point, I will ask Amaya, who's here with me, to see if any of you have left any questions, and I will just come back onto the screen. Okay, there is a question. Wait just a minute. There is a question with regards scholarship possibilities. There are some scholarship possibilities for this program. Deusto Business School, in collaboration with the Vitkaina Aguirre Foundation, has a scholarship program for Deusto Business School postgraduate masters, which gives a 20 to 40% tuition fee reduction. The tuition fees for the program this year are at 11,000 euros, so that gives a 20 to 40% tuition fee reduction. It's a competitive scholarship which is based on academic merit, and it's a scholarship which has a very tight deadline. The deadline for applications for that scholarship actually closes on the 15th of June. And I believe you need to have already applied for the Masters before you can apply for that scholarship. So if you're interested in applying for the scholarship, then there really is urgency to move very quickly, first in applying to the Masters and then for that scholarship. Just wait a few moments to see if there are any other questions coming through. But we don't see any other questions coming through at the moment. As I've said previously, and I will put those details back up again onto the screen now, I think. There you have our contact details. So if you do think of any questions, or you would like a personal chat, a personal interview, to talk about the program and to talk about your motivations and your career how the program might fit within your career aspirations, then please do get in touch with either myself or Amaya, and we'll be happy to arrange a chat. If anyone has just been passed a note, if anyone has arrived late and has missed the earlier part of the webinar, then this whole webinar, the last 20-25 minutes so since we started, will now be available on the YouTube site, so you'll be able to watch it again at your leisure. So if you're you'll be able to go back to that information. Well, thank you very much for your attention, for joining us here in San Sebastian this afternoon, and I hope that some of you will apply to the Masters, and I hope to give you a personal welcome myself here in San Sebastian in September. Thank you very much.